Let me put some.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to tune into this success story of the Abundance Army, aka the family of the Frugal Feminista. And I'm super honored to have no other than Bibi Irene, one of our most vocal, our most transformed, our most committed members of our community, just here to share some words from her story, share her story, and just some words of encouragement about what it takes to reinvent yourself when it comes to your relationship with money and some of her lessons and words of wisdom along the way. So thank you so much, Bibi Irene, for being here.
Yes, thank you, and thank you guys for taking the time to listen. Uh, I started following Kara. It's been it's been a little over a year now, and you were really the first like Black woman that really caught my attention, and I think it was because of the language you use. I never heard of having a relationship with money or it being like an the intimacy in financial freedom. And one of the things we talk about is financial um, freedom isn't just like having all your bills paid and things. It's really understanding your money and how you're using your money and your money's not using you. um, I've learned so many lessons, but it all started going back to my childhood.
Mm.
Uh, Me being a single mom, I followed that generational train of being a single mom, and sometimes we wake up and we're just like, we don't know how we did it. Like I don't know, and a lot of it is God, and a lot of it is me. Um, Getting the courage to even look at my money, because when I grew up, we just never talked about money. So this was like the first book that was able to like really break it down. And I love that the book has the writing prompts in there right for you. So it's work, like getting your finances under control, understanding your money. Like it takes work. It's not something that you do in one day. And I like the chapter that talks about having your financial amigos, your friends, your financial mentors. Finance is just like anything else, has to be done in community. It's a collaborative thing. I mean, there's you, and then there's money, so that's two, and then there's your bank accounts, and you're already in community with your money. So having other mentors like on the ground with you that you can bounce ideas off of, um, that's been something that I learned how to do.
Mhm. So what would you say what made you want to be a part, one, of first reading the book, but then second, even being part of our 4-week Abundance Army experience?
Again, it was just about community, and I really value the time that I spend, and it was something that this has to be a priority. Like if I'm gonna be telling myself every day abundance is my birthright, I need to, manifest that not just in speech but in action. And being a part of the abundance army, when you hear other people's success stories, it makes it more like tangible. Like, oh, I can do this too. So I really just wanted extra. Like I don't think like learning. You are a lifelong learner. That's never. Um, I'll never get tired of learning. So I just wanted to do that with other people, and I'm very much prompt driven. So when you ask a question or there's small breakout groups, I'm like, let's go. Let me write it down, think about it, because it just helps organize my thoughts with questions.
So what would you say were like some of you kind of talked about it, but what are some of the internal changes that you've experienced as a result of kind of working through the book and working in the programs.
Okay, you said internal feelings?
Internal shifts.
Internal shifts. Okay. Yeah, and internally, I'm not worried about money anymore. You know, it comes to me, it's going to come to me. There's things that I need to do, but I don't let it stress me out. I know that if I buy something and I, you know, put off something else, you know, that is, I'm not gonna say it bothers me, but like I know that I need to make up for it in the future, whether by not going out to eat the next day or something, but I don't beat myself up. Like I used to beat myself up when I didn't have any money because I'm like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't understand the value of saving and to just be able to look at it. And really, like, I just got the confidence to look at my money because I never grew up with anybody showing it to me. And I remember my dad, we lived in this cute little neighborhood, and across the street, I had a best friend named Jade, and he would always tell me, "Oh, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses." And whenever I would ask for things, and I'm like, "We live on the same street," and their last name was literally Jones, so it kind of was funny later. But I was like, "How do we live on the same street, but like I can't have some of those the same things that she has?" And um, I saw my mom try, like she would try to make up for it and buy me things. And I know looking back, she probably was doing it, you know, because one, my dad was saying no, and she really wanted me to have the best. And, you know, now I'm able to tell my kids, like, maybe later, or yes, or no. And that's a complete sentence now. And I couldn't do that before. So I'm like, I want my babies to have everything, but like they have everything because they have you.
Right.
So it's not about the money, but you know, it is. And I used to think money was the root of evil until like I started working through the book. I'm trying to think about the chapter. You just silencing the noise. That was like one of my favorites. Because I had a lot of noise around money being evil, and if I ever made anything, I'm gonna be a sellout. But once when you have a good heart and you want to help people, you need gas to get there. You need money to donate. So I just shifted internally how I viewed that.
Have your finances, on the other hand, like have you opened up accounts? Have you closed? Have you stopped? How has your relationship on the other side of your structures? Are you increasing your saving? Have you decreased your debt? Tell me about that part of the manifestation.
So yeah, So I completely paid my Capital One credit card, which was I know it was my longest, well, my second longest credit card, but it was the highest balance. It was 2,500. So you can imagine with the interest, it was more. Paid my Macy's credit card, it was just 200, and then they're like, "Oh, they wanted to give me more," and I'm like, I don't shop at Macy's as much as I did 10 years ago, so I didn't need to increase the limit. I'm paying for grad school out of pocket. I don't want to be in debt anymore. Like I did the whole debt boy for undergrad. You know, if a class is $800 a credit, then you know I should be able to pay something. You know, and I'm using the consolidation principle to negotiate with these creditors. And when I got my, okay, this was the most profound for me. When I did pull up my credit score, because that was one of the things to do. I think track your spending. I think it's in week 3 where it gives the advice to get the advisor and check your credit score. There was a whole like $8,000 from like this apartment that I had never lived in that had been charged, and it was on my credit score, impacting it hard. And I wrote a letter to TransUnion, Equifax, all of those. I did it online. they were like, yeah, we found you never lived there, all with proof. And it came off they were quick. They were real quick. Like a lot of people are even intimidated about getting a credit report. But I tell people now, because my advisor is like, if it's been on there almost 10 years, it's, it may drop off soon. Some people like to start with the smallest items to pay off first, but I was like the opposite. I want to pay off bigger things first.
Mhm.
I don't know. So on the structural side of like financial improvements, definitely that, because if you don't get relief by paying off debt, then I don't know what's gonna make you like feel good about yourself, because that's an accomplishment and it's not a small win. It's a big win. That's $2,500 that like is there. Like I still have the credit card, so it's like an emergency fund now or whatever I need to use it for.
Mm, I love that. So I'm hearing that you were able to, number one, um, pay off debt, and that increases your net worth because you have less debt. Then that side of your liabilities goes down, and so you automatically increase your wealth. Two, you're paying in cash for your education, and even what's happening with your credit score, and your relationship to credit has all begun to come in line with the woman that you're becoming as a result of the work that you're doing, investing and healing your relationship with money. So I'm so excited, and just to see how that is happening in less than a year. I just want to know, Bibi, just to kind of close us out, what advice would you give to anybody like interested in coming into the world of the Abundance Army, or anything that I call it next time, or the work that I'm doing, um, and the community that we've created? What advice would you give to anyone that's like, I kind of want to join, but I don't know, I can do it by myself? What advice would you give them?
Uh, Community works, collaboration works. Um, Go back and think about what you're good at, what you used to like to do. One of the other things I started was my own cleaning company, and I wanted to. When you talked about all the things you did, like you were dressing up as a princess, and
Yes. Mickey Mouse
like
character, yep.
I tapped into that because I do like making people feel good in events, but you can make money with your own two hands. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5. You can work your 9 to 5, leverage that money to build your empire of 6 to 10, but like everybody should have their own business or own extra stream of income, whether it's passive where you have to go do it. But for me, I learned that I could do that during the time that I joined the event. I would have never gone back and like restarted my dreams. So I have my cleaning company. It's called Cope Cleaning, Organizing, Packing, and Empowerment, because
Mm,
I never wanted anyone to feel bad about the state of their home. But when you start to clear out stuff, like you just make more room for everything. And for me, that's clearing out debt. So yeah, definitely if you've ever thought about generating income for yourself, do that so you can have more money to pay down things or more money to spend or save. I just feel like everyone should do that. There's something else that triggered me when you spoke. I can't put my name on it. But yeah, just not don't be scared to start, and don't be disappointed or burdened when other people in your life aren't so eager to jump on the train, and they don't understand why you're not going out all the time. And like you finding your financial identity, ultimately, even if you're in community, you're doing it for yourself. So just you have to have a why you're doing it. And it may not be for everybody, but I would recommend at least trying it. Um, yeah.
and I think what you're saying too is that it may not be for the people around you, but you can find people who it's for. You can be a part of the
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem, kind of tap into it, because there are people who are desiring to do the same things that you're desiring. You just have to find each other. And
Mm-hmm.
communities like the ones that we are creating are really, really changing lives in a way that makes us feel whole. And I think Bibi has shown herself, you guys, just to be a leader for her own life, but a leader of helping other women in the community find their voice, find their wins, being there to cheer and support, and also plan and also hold each other accountable. And so Bibi is the example of what it means to be a part of our community. And the work that I'm really passionate about, rooted in our community, rooted in love, rooted in advocacy, rooted in understanding that we deserve material and spiritual well-being, for real. So the last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna leave Bibi with the last word, but before I give you the last word, I just wanna say, like, if you were ever questioning, why, join or should I join? I think you can see from just Bibi and any other people that you may see with these success stories is that this is a movement. We are changing lives by changing ourselves. We're making things possible. We're making ease, abundance, and joy just the bare minimum for people that look like us. And we're doing it in community, and we're doing it with love. And I want to leave Bibi with the last words for anybody, anything else that's on your mind.
Um, yeah, I'm just thankful to be a part of the Abundance Army. If anyone is questioning it, because it sounds like a lot to be in an army, but you have each other. And for me, it was a low commitment with huge impact. It was something that I needed to do at least 10 minutes a day, some days longer. Um, and it was transformational. And it's going to keep being that way. But, you know, it's about closing the wealth gap for me. I'm very passionate about that because there's just a huge discrepancy in salaries nowadays. So if you are ever thinking about going into a new direction, doing something different, this is the place to start.
I love that. And we'll end it with that. So if there are links, I'm gonna link, Bibi, if you can share your link to Cope, we can give people links to your cleaning service, and then I'll give you links to joining our community. And I hopefully will see you on the inside so we can have a success story, and you might be the next one I'll be sharing with the rest of our community. So thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the inside.